brainiacs of the universe! Welcome to Psychiant, the grooviest psychology channel this side of the Milky Way. I'm your host, your guide, your psychological GPS, Mr. TomTom, beep beep. Yes, that's right. I'm here to navigate you through the wild, wacky, and wonderful world of psychology. Buckle up, grade 12, because this is going to be a mind-blowing ride. Whoops! See that? That's my brain trying to multitask. Spoiler alert, it's not great at it. But don't worry, by the end of this series, you'll know why my brain's a bit of a hot mess. And maybe yours too. So, who am I? I'm Mr. TomTom, your online psych guru, here to make psychology so fun you'll forget you're learning. I've got 14 videos lined up for you, and this is video 1, the grand kickoff, the big enchilada, what's another food metaphor? The giant pizza of psychology. Before we dive into the juicy stuff, let's get to know each other. You're probably a super cool grade 12 student, maybe sipping a soda, wondering, why do I need to learn about brains? Well, my friend, psychology is the key to unlocking why you binge watch shows until 3 a.m., why your dog gives you side-eye, and why your bestie ghosted you after you ate their fries. It's the science of you and everyone else. So, grab a snack, mute your notifications, and let's get psyched. Today's mission, Introduction to Psychology. We're gonna answer, what is psychology? Where did it come from? And why should you care? Plus, I'll throw in some real-life examples so you can impress your friends with your brainy knowledge. Ready? Let's do this. Okay, team, let's start with the big question. What the heck is psychology? If you're thinking it's just a bunch of old dudes with beards asking, how does that make you feel? You're not totally wrong, but there's so much more. Psychology is the scientific study of behavior and mental processes. That, as a fancy way of saying it, is all about why people, and even animals, do what they do, and think what they think. Think of psychology as a detective game. We're Sherlock Holmes. But instead of solving crimes, we're solving mysteries like, why did Karen scream when she saw a spider? Why does Tim always forget his homework? And why do I keep buying snacks I don't need? Spoiler, it's not just because I love nachos. Let's break it down. Psychology looks at 3 big things. 1, behavior, what you do. Like, why you dance like nobody's watching when your favorite song comes on. 2, mental processes. What's happening in your head? Like, why you're secretly stressed about that math test. 3, emotions and motivations. Why you feel what you feel. Like, why you're super motivated to win at video games, but not to clean your room. Sounds cool, right? It's like peeking into the control room of your brain. Here's a real-life example. Ever sneak to the kitchen at midnight for a snack? That's psychology at work. Your behavior is tiptoeing to the fridge. Your mental process is your brain saying, ice cream sounds amazing. And your motivation, maybe you're bored, stressed, or just really love cookie dough. Psychology helps us figure out why you didn't tea. Just go to bed like a sensible human. By the end of this series, you'll be a pro at spotting psychology in action. Whether it's you, your friends, or even your cat plotting world domination. Meow. Now, let's hop in our time machine and zoom back to figure out where psychology came from. Spoiler, it's not just a bunch of hipsters in lab coats. Psychology has been around forever, even if it didn't always have a fancy name. Ready? Vroom, vroom. 1. Ancient times. Philosophers get curious. Way back in ancient Greece, guys like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle were already asking big brain questions. They were like, yo, why do humans dream? What's the deal with emotions? They didn't have fancy brain scanners, so they just sat around in togas, sipping grape juice and arguing. Socrates was all about self-reflection, saying, know thyself, which is basically the OG psychology motto. Fast forward to the Middle Ages, and people thought behavior was all about spirits or demons. Forgot your lines in the school play? Must be a ghost in your head. Luckily, we've moved past that. Mostly. 2. The birth of modern psychology. 1879. Okay, let's zip to 1879, when psychology officially became a science. Meet Wilhelm Wundt, a German dude with an epic mustache. He set up the first psychology lab in Leipzig, Germany. Wundt was like, let's study the mind scientifically. He used a method called introspection, where people described their thoughts in detail, like, I see a cupcake, I feel happy and hungry. It was groundbreaking, but also kinda slow. Wundt's lab was the spark that lit the psychology fire. Soon, people all over the world were like, hey, let's study brains. And that's when things got really wild. Introspection is like when you try to figure out why you're mad at your sibling. Maybe you're thinking, I'm annoyed because they stole my charger, but also because they ate my leftovers. That's you introspecting, digging into your thoughts. Wundt would be proud. 3. Early 20th century, psychology grows up. After Wundt, psychology exploded like a piñata full of brain facts. In the early 1900s, different schools of thought popped up. You had Freud in Vienna, stroking his beard and talking about dreams. In America, John Watson was like, forget dreams, let's study behavior. And then there were folks like William James, who wrote the first psychology textbook, basically the Bible of Psych 101. These pioneers set the stage for everything we're gonna learn in this series. By the mid-20th century, psychology was a legit science, with labs, experiments, and even some questionable studies, like, don't ask about the monkey experiments. Let's just say we've learned a lot and moved on. All right, brain chefs, psychology isn't just one flavor. It's a big, delicious soup with lots of ingredients. Over time, psychologists came up with different approaches to explain behavior and the mind. Think of these as different recipes for understanding why you're you. Let's stir the pot and check out the main ones. 1. Behavioral approach. First up, behaviorism. This approach says, forget what's in your head. Let's focus on what you do. Behaviorists like John Watson and B.F. Skinner believed we learn through rewards and punishments. Ever train a dog to sit by giving it treats? That's behaviorism. Humans work the same way. Think about your phone addiction. Every time you get a notification, ding, your brain gets a little reward. That's why you check your phone 500 times a day. Behaviorism says you're not obsessed. You're just trained like a lab rat. No offense. 2. Psychoanalytic approach. Next, we've got psychoanalysis, brought to you by Sigmund Freud, the guy with the cigar on the couch. Freud said your behavior is driven by unconscious desires, like hidden icebergs in your mind. Forgot your lines in the school play? Freud might say it's because you secretly hate the spotlight, or your drama teacher. Ever have a weird dream about flying on a giant taco? Freud would say that dream is your unconscious mind trying to tell you something. Maybe you're stressed, or maybe you just really want tacos. Either way, it's deep. 3. Humanistic approach. Now let's get warm and fuzzy with the humanistic approach. Psychologists like Carl Rogers and Abraham Maslow said, you're not just a robot or a bag of unconscious urges, you're a unique snowflake. This approach is all about personal growth and reaching your full potential. Ever feel super inspired after watching a motivational video? That's your humanistic side saying, I can be the best me. Like, maybe you decide to start a band, or finally clean your room. Humanism is all about chasing your dreams, not just nachos. 4. Cognitive approach. Next up, the cognitive approach. This one's all about your brain as a supercomputer. Cognitive psychologists study how you think, remember, and solve problems. Ever wonder why you can't remember where you parked your bike? That's your cognitive system taking a coffee break. When you're cramming for a test, your brain is encoding info, storing it, and hopefully retrieving it later. Cognitive psychology helps us understand why you might remember the lyrics to a song from 5th grade, but forget what you studied last night. Brains are weird. 5. Biological approach. Last but not least, the biological approach. This one says, it's all in your genes, neurons, and hormones. Your brain, your DNA, and those pesky chemicals like dopamine are running the show. Feeling grumpy? Might be low serotonin. Super hyper? Blame the caffeine. Ever get hangry? That's your biology talking. Your blood sugar drops, your brain freaks out, and suddenly you're yelling at your dog for no reason. The biological approach helps us understand why your body and brain are like, feed me now. 186. Sociocultural approach. Oh, and one more for the road. The sociocultural approach. This one says your culture, society, and environment shape who you are. Ever notice how your squad influences your slang or fashion? That's sociocultural psychology at work. In some cultures, it's totally normal to hug strangers. In others, you'd get a side eye for even trying. Sociocultural psychology explains why your TikTok dance moves might be a hit in one country, but a total flop in another. Phew. That's a lot of approaches, right? Each one's like a different pair of glasses to see the world. In this series, we'll use all of them to crack the code of human behavior. Cool, huh? Okay, brain detectives, psychology isn't just about cool theories. It's a science. That means psychologists use fancy methods to study behavior and mental processes. Let's put on our lab coats and dive into the research methods they use. Don't worry, no actual math required. Yet. 1. Observation. First up, observation. This is when psychologists watch people or animals in their natural habitat, like Jane Goodall with chimps. No poking, no prodding, just watching. It's like spying, but for science. Imagine you're at the mall and a psychologist is observing how teens act in the food court. They might notice you share fries with your friends, but get mad when someone steals your soda. That's observation, figuring out behavior without messing with it. 2. Case studies. Next, case studies. This is when psychologists dive deep into one person or group. It's like writing a biography, but with more brain facts. Case studies are great for rare cases, like someone with a super memory or a weird phobia. Ever hear of Phineas Gage? He was a guy in the 1800s who got a metal rod through his brain and survived. Psychologists studied him to learn how brain injuries affect personality. Spoiler, he got kinda grumpy afterward. Case studies give us juicy details. 3. Surveys. Then we've got surveys. This is when psychologists ask a ton of people questions like, how happy are you? Or, do you believe in aliens? Surveys are great for big groups, but sometimes people lie. Shocker. Imagine your school does a survey asking, how stressed are you about finals? You might say, not at all, even though you're stress-eating gummy bears. Surveys help psychologists spot trends, but they're not always 100% honest. 4. Experiments. Finally, the big kahuna. Experiments. This is when psychologists test cause and effect by changing one thing and seeing what happens. It's like a science fair project, but with less baking soda volcanoes. Let's say a psychologist wants to know if music helps you study. They'd have one group study with music and another without, then compare their test scores. If the music group aces it, boom, evidence. Experiments are the gold standard of psych research. 5. Correlational studies. Oh, and one more, correlational studies. These look at how two things are related, but they don't prove cause and effect. Like, maybe people who eat more pizza are happier. Does pizza make you happy, or do happy people just love pizza? Correlation doesn't tell us. Ever notice that people who sleep less seem grumpier? A correlational study might confirm that, but it doesn't mean lack of sleep causes grumpiness. Maybe they're grumpy because they spilled coffee on their shirt. Correlation, not causation, baby. These methods are like tools in a psychologist's toolbox. They use them to figure out why we tick, talk, and sometimes go cuckoo. And don't worry, we'll dive deeper into these in later videos. Alright, team. You might be thinking, Mr. TomTom, this is cool, but why should I care? I'm just trying to survive senior year. Fair point. But psychology isn't just for lab nerds. It's for you. Here's why it's the coolest subject ever. Understand yourself. Psychology helps you figure out why you procrastinate, why you get nervous before a date, or why you cry during sad movies. It's like having a user manual for your brain. Ever wonder why you put off homework until the last minute? Psychology says it might be because your brain craves instant rewards, like watching TikToks, over long-term gains, like good grades. Knowing this can help you trick your brain into starting early. Understand others. Psychology also helps you get why your friends, family, or even random strangers act the way they do. It's like having X-ray vision for people's motives. Your best friend ghosted you after a fight. Psychology might tell you they're not mad. They're just bad at handling conflict. Now you can talk it out instead of starting a texting war. Make the world better. Psychology isn't just about understanding. It's about helping. Psychologists use their knowledge to improve schools, workplaces, and even mental health apps. You could be a hero with a psych degree. Ever use a meditation app to chill out? That app was probably designed with psychology principles to help you relax. Psychologists are out here making the world a calmer place, one deep breath at a time. Whether you're heading to college, a job, or a gap year backpacking across Narnia, psychology gives you skills to navigate life. It teaches you critical thinking, empathy, and how to spot when someone's trying to manipulate you with a sneaky sales pitch. Imagine you're at a car dealership, and the salesperson's like, "This car's perfect for you." Psychology helps you see through their charm and realize they just want your cash. Boom, you're a savvy negotiator. Psychology is like a superpower. It helps you understand yourself, connect with others, and maybe even save the day. Plus, it's just plain fun. Whew, we covered a lot today, brainiacs. We learned what psychology is, where it came from, the major approaches, how psychologists do their thing, and why you should be as excited about this as I am about nachos. But this is just the beginning. We've got 13 more videos to blow your mind. Here's a sneak peek at what's coming up. Video 2, Biopsychology. We'll dive into your brain, neurons, and why you get butterflies before a big game. Video 3, Sensation and Perception. Ever wonder why you can't find your phone when it owns right in front of you? We'll explain. Video 4, Consciousness, sleep, dreams, and why you zoned out during that boring Zoom call. And that's just the start. By the end of this series, you'll be a psychology pro, ready to impress your friends, ace your exams, and maybe even figure out why your cat keeps knocking over your water glass. Each video will be packed with more humor, more real-life examples, and more of me being, well, me. So, subscribe to Psychiant. Hit that notification bell and get ready for the ride of your life. Your brain's gonna thank you. And that's a wrap for video 1, my fellow brain explorers. You're officially on the path to becoming psychology superheroes. Before I go, here's your homework. Don't groan. I want you to notice one behavior this week and think, why did they do that? Maybe it's your sibling slamming their door or your friend obsessing over a new game. Jot it down and we'll talk about it next time. Thanks for joining me on this epic adventure. You're not just students, you're Psychiant superstars. Stay curious, keep smiling, and I'll see you in video 2. Until then, this is Mr. TomTom, signing off with a brainy salute.